Tents and blankets are given to homeless flood victims near a river in Washington state. Tzu Chi volunteers create a system for providing aid to COVID-confirmed care recipient families. I'm Sean Scanlan. This is DaAi Headlines. Let's get started. In the United States, Mount Vernon in Washington state experienced heavy rains that caused the river to surge, leading to severe flooding in some areas. Approximately 50 homeless people live by the river, and all their living supplies were washed away. After Tzu Chi volunteers learned the news, they went to distribute tents, sleeping bags, blankets, sanitary products, and other warm clothing to tide over these difficult times.
After entering the rainy season in October, continuous heavy rain fell in Washington state in early November, causing the Skagit River to surge. The riverside city of Mount Vernon suffered its worst flooding in 30 years.
Now we are in Mount Vernon, Washington. Because there was a big flood last week, after we received the information, so the volunteers hurriedly prepared supplies, which were to be given to the homeless people here. Because they live on the other side of the Skagit River, when the water rises in the park where they live, they had no time to escape and everything was washed away. So the supplies we went were tents, sleeping bags, and warmth. Things as well as our eco-friendly blankets, scarves, and so on.
Seattle Tzu Chi volunteers drove more than an hour from the office to the Mount Vernon Elementary School. The distribution plan was handled smoothly under the eaves of the school side door with assistance of many local volunteers.
They came and they looked at the scene, and that was 1 week ago. And then here you see all the work that happened in 1 week. It's been so great to work with Tzu Chi. I've just been honored to have you guys in my community, and I just really appreciate everything that this organization always does to help people.
Approximately about 20 people showed up today. A lot of them lost everything with the floods, and we are really grateful for this organization to come and help us.
And I myself have been homeless before, so I wanted to come out and do my part to help our community and all of our neighbors. And I'm just really thankful to be here, and I'm super thankful for the Tzu Chi Foundation for doing their part to help out all of our friends here locally. It's been a really wonderful experience for us.
The weather was wet and cold, but the volunteers sent warmth with the material assistance. The difficult situation has changed.
Tzu Chi New York chapter held an online concert inviting One-Fang, youth theater, and Malaysian musician Tan Soo Suan to celebrate the anniversary together. Nearly 1,100 people attended the online celebration as people promised to inspire more goodness in this world.
At the Tzu Chi New York chapter's 30th anniversary meeting in the cloud, volunteers from both the United States and Taiwan gathered. Firstly, a youth theater performance displayed spiritual drumming to purify minds. Secondly, a famous singer, One-Fang, performed for the attendees. Thirdly, volunteers from New York, Long Island, and Boston displayed sutra adaptation performances. Moreover, a musician in Malaysia brought her song to the event. While gathering kindness and raising funds, the event was attended by nearly 1,100 people.
I'm thankful to all the friends who supported Tzu Chi New York chapter. We will utilize the funding for the missions of charity, medicine, education, and humanity in future. These 4 missions will allow the needy in New York to receive more help.
With technology, volunteers meet with one another while promising to utilize their influences to help more people in need.
In Indonesia on December 4th, Mount Semeru erupted, causing great damage and making rescues tougher. As of now, it is estimated that 15 people passed away and hundreds were injured during the disaster. Upon hearing the news, Tzu Chi volunteers in Surabaya went to the disaster-affected areas under the company of police officers. Volunteers also prepared 120 boxes of water, masks, and blankets, distributing these supplies to affected residents living in shelters. Take a look.
The entire village is covered in volcanic mud as rescue workers use shovels and even hands to dig out bodies buried under thick layers of hot ash. As of now, it is estimated that 15 people have died and 27 people are still missing. Mount Semeru erupted last Saturday as locals fled in a hurry. On the next day, city volunteers in Sarabuya took a 3-hour ride into the disaster-affected regions. Volunteers prepared boxes of water, masks, mats, and blankets, distributing to disaster-affected residents living in shelters.
Indonesia Tzu Chi volunteers promoted the Healthier Me 21-Day Challenge event, encouraging everyone to adopt a whole plant-based diet. The governor and his wife of North Sumatra also joined the event.
The Healthier Me 21-Day Challenge event was launched as 94 people went to the Mindan Jingsi Books and Cafe to sign up. This trend of whole plant-based diets has also flowed to the family of the governor of North Sumatra.
I'm very interested in this event. If one is driven by someone, he won't practice it well. It all depends on one's own decision and motivation. With this Healthier Me 21-Day Challenge event, at least our desire for meat can be controlled. And only by controlling our desire can we make ourselves healthy.
My goal is to make my body healthier, and weight loss is a bonus. The most important thing is to be healthy. Put it this way, I'm a person who eats everything. I also eat meat. I hope this whole plant-based diet for 21 days can help me detox.
Before starting the event, they have to record various body indexes, including blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, etc. It is hoped that after 21 days, the whole plant-based diet will no longer be a challenge, but a habit in life.
In the past few months, Singapore continues to have more than 1,000 new cases of COVID a day. This has impacted lives of many. Tzu Chi volunteers have started a new system to check on care recipients that are confirmed to have COVID, helping them through these very difficult times. Take a look.
I feel very worried because my son got infected by the COVID. We also feel very scared also.
At the moment, we have 3 care recipients who caught COVID and have passed away.
Because of the continued presence of COVID, Singapore Tzu Chi volunteers have put forward new care plans which included distributing 700 COVID prevention packages to care recipients. A special system for COVID confirmed or quarantined care recipients was also put into place.
For these disadvantaged families, they are already experiencing a lot of stress. We hope to provide timely and more comprehensive care for our care recipients' families.
In addition to the care packages for confirmed COVID care recipient families, a tailor-made approach for caring for these individuals was put into place.
We have to stay on the spot and cannot go out.
Because her eldest son was confirmed with COVID, Kamaria has been subject to 10 days of quarantine. She is worried about his health and also fears running out of food.
She feels quite sad in her heart, so we must do important things like buying daily goods for her. And they also need quick screening tests, so we arrange delivery to her home as soon as possible.
Then they will call us every day to ask our condition. We will very appreciate this and not so stressed about facing the COVID.
During the pandemic, Singapore Tzu Chi volunteers continue to aid care recipients and help them get through these difficult times.
An enthusiastic village head in Zhisang Township, Taidong, reported the elderly living alone who needed help. A medical team of Guanshan Tzu Chi Hospital later went to provide care, assisting the grandmother to seek medical treatment. Here's more.
The medical team of Guanshan Tzu Chi Hospital arrived at the village as they saw Grandma Zhang, who was in her 80s, were being helped to get into ambulance because of a fall.
平常吃什么药吗？
平常就要不要拿给你们看？
平常吃的药一起拿过去。
The medical staff reminded and converted the daughter on the side and assisted her in sending her mother to see a doctor step by step.
谢谢大家。
开过刀这边。
这看伤口看起来是人工关节了。
对了。
对，还不错啊，开得很好啊。
The village had reported that there are solitary elderly people in the village who are inconvenient to move and seek Tzu Chi's assistance.
They're marginal households. If no one is willing to help them, they really live like this. So we'll do our best to help whatever we can.
Don't fall again, as your bones are more fragile and may require surgery after a fall, which will be very troublesome by then.
那有没有进步？有了哈，有慢慢会好的了。因为你刚开完刀没多久嘛哈，送一些生活必需品。
We bought you some daily necessities. This is heavy. You have to work hard.
The medical team specially bought the vest in bright color and with relative bands to the elders.
要温暖，要安全啊！
是。
Physicians work with the volunteer teams to care for those in need in the community, give them warmth and care.
New members will join the Tzu Chi family at the end of the year. There are 26 people in Xizhi and Geelong who are certified as Tzu Chi volunteers. Many of them are couples and vowed to walk on the Bodhisattva path together. Let's see how they have changed since they joined Tzu Chi. Take a look.
During the pandemic, the construction of Xizhi Jingsi Hou still went on. Chen Fazhong, whose specialty is construction, cooperated with the training course and assumed the position of the site director. He also has such expectation.
I want to join the construction committee after I retire to help Tzu Chi monitor the construction quality.
Zhang Yanhuang, who was certified as Tzu Chen in 2009, accompanied his wife to Tzu Chi Commissioner training course this year. He hopes that in the future they can walk the Bodhisattva path together and put much effort on Tzu Chi mission.
As long as my wife goes to class, I will accompany her, and she will accompany me too. We will do it together so that we will feel carefree if we are in the same heart.
When the two of us were cement workers, we often quarreled and refused to give in. After I joined Tzu Chi, I would stop, watch and listen. I will listen to what his thoughts are. After I have been nourished by the Master's Dharma, I will think more.
Wang Shufu got to know Tzu Chi from participating in Guzheng class. After being certified as Tzu Chi volunteer, she hopes to heal patients in the hospital with her music.
I hope that through music, one day I can use it to serve patients, so I want to learn it well. Every new volunteer entering the Tzu Chi family after a year of cultivation and the test of the pandemic, their hearts are firmer and the direction is clear.
The Animal Protection Act rules out the use of traps, though accidents still happen. Half a year ago, a stray cat was harmed by a trap, as it must undergo amputation, leaving it with one leg. Take a look.
When it walks, its bones will touch the ground, and it won't walk off in a random direction.
Soft mats layered on the floor, and a low cat litter box. This living space here are for 10 cats with disabilities.
When these cats are seeking other environments or living space, there will be difficulties because most people put cats in cages. When people look at the cats here, they think that the cat deserves enthusiasm because it can't live on its own. We hope everyone can witness the cat's dedication to adapt and live.
Recently, Swen took in a new member as it was harmed by a trap around Jumping down from the sofa and avoiding strangers, it's certainly a lucky thing to be able to walk normally again.
他平常的话就是大概我们都会抱着在那边，就是他会撒娇。
Normally, it will be with me and play with me, but when it first came here, it was extremely nervous. At the time, we spent a lot of time to accompany it and understood its living habits. It has a personality of loving interaction, so it adapted quickly. At first, when it arrived, it cried a lot, so we kept on calming it. So we kept on interacting with the cat and built trust over time.
也是很陌生的，所以其实是一直跟他互动，然后才建立起信任感。
Looking back half a year ago, Mingxing's injury was very frightening.
通报地点在前面那个菜园旁边那鸽舍那里。
The rescue call was at the pigeon loft near the garden, and when we arrived, we saw the cat on the ground. The trap connected from the inside to the outside and trapped the cat.
被绑死的状态衍生出来的。
你说捕兽夹？
对，捕兽夹那时候的照片，就是从那边这样跳下去，然后这样走，跳下那个山崖下去之后，从这边这样，然后我们就在这边慢慢走。它有从水沟硬跳，现在呢往上跳，就是有点翻爬，一边滚一边爬往这边走。确定它往这边跑之后，我就开始从那边做搜寻。我刚好听到。
I heard sounds on the second floor, and after 10 minutes, there's sound again, so I thought by instinct, this must be the cat. In order to survive, doctors removed Mingxing's 3 legs, saving the cat in critical condition. After half a year of rest, Mingxing recovered and is ready for adoption, though there is still a question, who placed the trap that harmed Mingxing? It's hard to collect evidence. You don't know who placed the trap, because it might have dragged the trap with it and under very much pain. From point A to B, we got the call when it was at point B, and after arriving, the cat might have arrived at point C, so it's hard to find who did it. The inability to locate the person laying the trap displays the serious lack of animal protection police. In 2011, the NTPC was created with 32 animal protection police officers. And if there is cases with citizens reporting injured animals, both the police officers and animal protection police officers can work together on the same case. The cost to investigate is too high, and if we really want to stop things like this from happening, or the action itself, we can't rely on the government alone. It has to be the sufficient funding from animal protection groups, since when people patrol mountainous regions, there is a problem. The labor costs money. When you saved a lot of cats, you will both feel emotionally moved and helpless because the rescues never end. If the government can lay out courses that teach life education in schools, students can go on to impact their families. The world does not belong to us humans solely. We should learn to coexist with animals. Once tortured by humans with cruelty, Mingxing tried its best to recover and begins to trust humans once more. What about humans? Can we do the same and learn how to coexist with animals?
Have you seen illustrated science books involving beautiful drawings of animals and plants? Illustrators continue to use drawings to make a permanent record of the wonders of science. Here's more.
I have been doing scientific illustrators for more than 10 years, but my memory isn't totally clear. In general, we want to document nature's beauty. It is quite possible to use art to do this, and my scientific illustrations must be lifelike. I have a tinnitus problem. When I grew up, I couldn't find the cause of the tinnitus problem after seeing the doctor. After various tests, the doctor told me to simply live with my tinnitus. Then the doctor said that because I have this tinnitus, I should try to ignore it every day. This meant that I needed to find something else to do and not concentrate on it. I found something that I like to do and then transferred all my attention to it. Now I draw like these illustrations and I am so focused that I hardly feel the tinnitus. Now the only pressure I feel is when I don't hear something or can't speak clearly.
Having illustrated plants for more than 10 years, Hong Xiangyu now believes that she gets along with plants better than people because they don't speak.
Because you observe plants, you get along with plants. You just interact with them every day. My illustration is sort of beyond description, as I just try to know them more accurately.
Hong Xiangyu's character is just like her works, calm and polite. Although she is an illustrator, she uses a rational mind for these scientific illustrations that ordinary people can't observe. Hong Xiangyu only needs to look at a plant to discover its mystery.
Because the photo the scholar gave me was this color, which was a little bit lighted here. I had difficulty understanding it, so I went to him to ask more questions, and the doctor said the color difference was because this plant is older and this is the color, and when it is young, this is the color.
Photographic equipment is becoming more and more advanced and convenient, but it is still not as good as scientific illustrations that can emphasize and magnify the characteristics of plants and animals. Until today, scientific illustrations not yet been replaced by photographic technology. On the contrary, this traditional industry continues to be well established in academia and still embodies an irreplaceable space.
When we drew the string-hole climbing lizard, its abdomen and chest kept shrinking. In fact, it was so tense that it was almost dying, and its mouth was open. I knew it could not stand it anymore, as this made me worried for it. After touching it lightly, it seemed to quiet and slow down. Especially its eyes began to close a little, as it will really quiet down immediately.
In Peng Xuanyu's hands, the swin-ho lizard remained motionless. Her unique ability to depict animals over a long period of time allows her to easily catch the exact look of animals. In her eyes, scientific illustration is not only a job, but also an artistic pursuit that she truly loves.
The subject of my painting is black bears. After reading articles related to black bears, I just hoped that the fate of black bears would be better.
Adding a little imagination to these scientific illustrations helps make the depicted objects more three-dimensional and vivid. The Formosan black bear sits leisurely under the green oak tree, very realistic and lively. Though scientific illustration seeks truth and representation, Peng Xuanyu is not satisfied with simple artistic depiction. She created a lot of paintings with a personal touch, as the beauty of nature is very good source material to inspire her artistic creations.
In fact, scientific illustration, in addition to being both academic and professional, can actually gradually become an aesthetic art form.
When drawing of things as simple as grass or trees, insects and fish, or birds and beasts are all carried out by these scientific illustrators who tell the story of nature with vibrant colors.
A graduation ceremony was held by Tzu Chi Humanities School in Brisbane, Australia. We leave you with these images. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.